when the constitutional rights of people are under threat.
A woman's right to abortion.
The ACLU of Michigan is resilient, and we're dogged.
I am pro-life, and I will be appointing pro-life judges.
Unrelenting.
And we're in for a fight.
To protect the hard-won rights.
The ACLU of Michigan shows up.
Together,
We
show up. Together, we show up.
The 2016 elections were heartbreaking.
Donald Trump won Michigan by just under 11,000 votes, razor-thin margin.
Michigan was an incredibly hostile state to abortion.
Donald Trump vowed to overturn Roe v. Wade.
And if Roe versus Wade were to fall, abortion access would not exist in Michigan.
It was really gut-wrenching.
Do you want the court to overturn Roe v. Wade?
I will be appointing pro-life judges. That will happen.
The ACLU, being a very audacious organization, said, what can we do to end this fight once and for all and protect abortion in Michigan?
Our team sprung into action.
Our plan was to revolutionize Michigan's voting system so that it worked for everyone, and to use that as a catalyst to protect abortion rights. We launched Promote the Vote,
the greatest expansion of voting rights in Michigan history.
Things like early voting, no excuse absentee voting, to challenge the districts that were marginalizing Black voters and voters of color.
In a resounding victory,
Proposal 3 really passing by a wide margin.
we showed up.
We were seeing a historic wave of anti-abortion laws sweep across the entire country. I had the opportunity to put together some ideas. One of those was a constitutional amendment.
We launched the Reproductive Freedom for All campaign with our partners Planned Parenthood and Michigan Voices.
An effort is underway to get a state constitutional right to abortion on the November ballot.
I helped write the constitutional amendment.
This was going to be the first ballot initiative of its kind.
We took an educated risk, but we took a risk.
More than 425,000 signatures are required to put the Michigan Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative on the November ballot.
It was a grassroots energy we haven't seen in generations.
A woman came by to drop off her signatures, and she was a NICU nurse. Another person walks up with 5 dogs. They're a local dog walker. And then a group of kids on skateboards rolled in holding their petitions.
I need to protect these rights for my daughter, for her future daughters, and for everybody else out there.
Reproductive Freedom for All announcing this morning that they have surpassed the 425,000 plus signatures required.
Over 700,000 petitions. It is rows and rows and rows of boxes. It's really something to see.
The state Supreme Court has ordered that a constitutional amendment that would protect abortion rights should go on the November ballot.
That's when the campaign really begins.
We had volunteers from every corner of Michigan, as far north as Michigan's Upper Peninsula, even though it would take them 30 minutes to walk between houses.
And then you have a few months then to do everything you can to make sure they get 50% of the votes on Election Day +1.
We begin this afternoon with the unprecedented leak of a draft opinion by the Supreme Court.
The Dobbs decision was leaked months after we had launched Reproductive Freedom for All.
The Supreme Court intended to completely gut Roe.
If Roe versus Wade is overturned, that means a Michigan law from all the way back in 1931 would make abortion in Michigan illegal.
ACLU of Michigan and Planned Parenthood of Michigan had filed a lawsuit to protect abortion access.
That lawsuit is what kept the abortion ban from going into effect.
New tonight, a judge has suspended Michigan's abortion ban while
we were able to proceed with the ballot initiative.
So many other states were caught off guard, and that wasn't us in Michigan.
That was all by design. We were all like, okay, we have a plan, time to get back to work. It's go time.
Election Day 2022
in Detroit, Michigan, where the stakes couldn't be higher.
Some of these races are closer than you might expect.
Proposal 3 was a unicorn of a ballot initiative.
Check out this view, some big voter turnout among college students.
Incredibly impassioned young people that we saw stand in line, same day register to vote on election night.
It was a really beautiful example of how all of our work builds.
As an immigrant to this country, the first vote that I got to make was Proposal 3 on an amendment that I had a hand in writing. It was a surreal moment.
Michigan voters passing Prop 3.
This is a historic win.
We did it!
Indescribable joy.
Is this real?
There were a lot of tears.
A lot of oh my gods.
Michigan voters, they deserve to take a bow that day.
Election night 2022 was a historic moment.
We also saw the passage of another constitutional amendment, Promote the Vote, of 2022 that the ACLU was also a big supporter of and helped draft.
The huge expansion of voting rights.
Another victory this morning.
Revolutionized our voting system even more. We also saw a flip of the Michigan legislature to a majority who were pro-civil rights.
The first law that I got signed this term was repealing the 1931 criminal abortion ban.
So that could never rear its ugly head again.
And we were able also to achieve comprehensive civil rights protections for the LGBTQ community after more than 40 years' efforts of trying to do so. It's made Michigan a leader. People look at our state as a model.
One of my greatest prides is seeing Ohio replicate that model.
I really have to give them credit for how smart that strategy was. The reason that abortion stayed safe and legal in Michigan is because of the ACLU of Michigan.
While we've accomplished great things, and in Michigan in particular, we can't rest on our laurels.
Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty.
We've just secured some of those rights and some of those protections.
Anti-abortion politicians want to enact a nationwide ban. And if they are able to do that, Proposal 3 can't stand in the way of that.
There is an enormous threat to democracy.
Everything is at stake.
And in 2024, we need you to show up.
I'm showing up.
I'm showing up.
We're showing up.
To protect the hard-won rights that you worked so tirelessly for.
We're showing up.
I'm showing up.
I'm showing up. Join the ACLU of Michigan.
I'm showing up.
I'm showing up.
We're showing up.
To protect our civil rights.
Our democracy.
Together.
Together.
Together. We can't do it without you.
Together.
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 Together, we show up. Show up with us.